So a day after I attended my nationals team game in enemy territory, Dead Bull Arena, we're still recovering from that game. And Tottenham Hotspur stealing worldwide soccer news with the signing of Jose Mourinho. Our Philadelphia Union have stole some soccer headlines of their own today with some big news that has a lot to do with the structure of next year's roster. And finally, for the love of God, we finally have Union news to talk about! But sit back and hang tight, guys, because we are back here in DOOP by the river to discuss our Philadelphia Union and the latest news that was. Let's get this started, guys. Done! And welcome back, everyone, to DOOP by the river. It has been a minute, and I'm so happy to be back. But guys, if this is the first time you're tuning into DOOP by the river, or if you're returning back, I just want to say thank you for tuning in. But please, guys, we are trying to grow this channel here. We are trying to grow El Parceo Philly, the brand, the channel, everything to do with it. And I could use your guys' help. Help me here by liking this video, subscribing to this channel, hitting the bell button for notifications, and sharing this video as well as this channel. But real quick, guys, before we dive into the big Union news, I just wanted to just touch upon the direction of this channel and where it is going. Now, guys, obviously, as you all know, the MLS season is over, and it is kind of tough trying to find ways to talk about the Union when really nothing is going on down in Chester. But, I'm trying to stay busy here. The goal of this channel is, not to just cover sports, but to unite people. And as you guys can tell, my channel has gone in a little bit of a different direction, not just soccer, but, Philly sports in general. You've seen me doing a lot of Eagles, Sixers, Phillies, Flyers videos, as well as covering European soccer. The goal with this, guys, is, it's not about, Eagles fans versus Sixers fans, the Euro soccer guys versus the Union guys. It's about bringing people together for the love of Philadelphia, and that's all I want to do. The purpose of covering the other sports is by showing people that, we can all like different things here in Philadelphia. And by covering 4 major sports as well as European soccer, I'm hoping that it will bring people to the Union. My number one priority will forever be this crest you see right here. This is my number one priority. But it doesn't hurt that I know a little thing or two about the other sports, and I actually do have a passion for the 4 other major sports in Philadelphia, as well as soccer worldwide. So I'm going to continue doing those videos, reaching out to different people, and of course, bringing people together. Whether you are white, black, Puerto Rican, Asian, or you're from South Philly, or you're from Brewery Town, wherever it may be, we are all Philly. We are all one. But guys, enough of that. Let's dive into the news because the Union have made some headlining news. Let's start off though with the sad one. Man, this really breaks my heart. And Auston Trusty, the process, has been traded, guys, to the Colorado Rapids, relinking him up with another Union youth product in Keegan Rosenberry. He has been acquired for $750,000 total allocation money. And guys, this to me honestly breaks my heart seeing him being traded. We all know the decline that Auston Trusty had towards the end of this season. He had a good first half of the season. Somewhere in his confidence, somewhere in his game, something was missing, and he got benched by Aurelien Collen, who eventually would be replaced by Mark McKenzie. But after the Montreal game, it's like Auston Trusty kind of went on exile. He was put on the bookshelf, and we heard nothing from him. There was an interview at the end of the season with Auston Trusty, kind of linking that there was another issue, the reason why he was benched. He also explained that he would explain what happened later on. I'm still waiting to see what it exactly was that was happening to Auston Trusty, one of the reasons to his decline. But this is a guy who we all know was a youth development product from our youth system. He's a local kid from Media, Pennsylvania. He grew up through the Union Academy and became a starter, and also became a U.S. national team cornerstone as well. So for the Colorado Rapids, whose defense has been reeling for the past couple seasons, are hopefully going to get a young, hungry center back who will be relentless. And I think this move is going to be perfect for him. Now, playing here in Philly, there's a great supporting cast around you, but Auston still had a lot of family, a lot of friends here in the area. Now he's going to go to Colorado where he really doesn't know many people out there. And it's going to test him. It's really going to test him out there. I really hope nothing but the best for Auston. I was not expecting him to, be traded so quickly. But, you got $750,000 for him. That's not a bad chunk of change for one of your youth guys. But definitely not the direction we want our youth players to go into. We want to sell them to outside the league, not inside the league. Auston, from me and Parceo Philly, thank you so much for all you've done for this team, especially this community. You've become an example for kids in this area to have big dreams, to play for a professional soccer team, and could play for this country as well. Wish you nothing but the best, and I will see you out in Colorado this season. All right, guys, the other set of news is that the Philadelphia Union have announced the option list of who is coming back and who will not be back here next year. We talked about who had the option list going into next season. The Union announced the players that they did offer options to. All right, guys, let's talk about the 8 players that the Union picked up the options and will be back next season. We got Joe Bendig, Corey Burke, Warren Craval, Anthony Fontana, Olivier Mbazio, Mark McKenzie, Michin Galina, and Matt Real. I had a feeling the Union would pick up these 8 players. Now, obviously, the one that stands out to me is Corey Burke. Obviously, the Union feel like he will be back at some point next season. If not, they wouldn't pick up his option. I'm going to keep my eye out for some more news on that, but that is definitely a good sign, seeing a potential return for Corey Burke back in Chester. Anthony Fontana, after the news that he was practicing over in Europe with a smaller level European club, his option did get picked up. And whether it was just a practice or not, it definitely, good to see Fontana still staying active, still training for next season. And he's one player I want to see in a bigger role for going into next year. As we're about to discuss it, there's going to be a lot of opportunities for midfielders to step up next season. All right, now the Union did throw offers to El Sino, Fafa Pico, Jamiro Monteiro, and Aurelien Colin. It is still up in the air whether those guys will be back, whether they like what the Union gave them. And honestly, I hope all those players think this long and hard, and I hope we can somehow get those guys back. Obviously, with El Sino, age is the concern here, and he's not really that durable to begin with, and his fitness has been an issue with the Union over the past couple seasons. So definitely, I think the Union are trying to save their ass and also trying to save a little bit of money. They know that as good as El Sino can be for 30 minutes in matches, really can't be paying him that much when you're trying to build a good team. Fafa Pico and Jamiro Monteiro are obviously going to be two players that are going to be hard to bring back. They're going to be asking for some serious dough, especially Jamiro Monteiro, who took a pay cut to come here to play in Philly. Those 2 players are going to be huge. We will see what happens, because if not, the Union are going to have, if those 2 players don't come back, the Union are going to have to find a way to replace the production of those 2 players. They were crucial aspects of our attack last season. And Aurelien Colin, obviously with the trade of Auston Trusty, the Union definitely want to bring back Aurelien Colin, a nice veteran piece who's been there and done that and can give you some solid minutes. All right, guys, the big news I want to talk about is the Union did decline 2 options, and that was Marco Fabian, not much surprise there, and Haris Medunjanin. Both those players got their options declined, and more than likely will find new suitors to play for. But, Marco, like I just said, it was no surprise. As good as Marco Fabian looked like at times last season, injuries are an issue for a player who is now in his 30s, who has an extensive injury history. It made no sense to bring Marco back. There was no justifying paying Marco Fabian almost $3 million. Now, obviously, Marco's time with the Union will be one that is going to be interesting when we look back at it 5 to 10 years from now. Because, Marco Fabian's impact on the field maybe wasn't as big as we thought it was, but off the field, as we mentioned, he was big in the Latino community, and this was a legit DP we signed. This is a guy who was a cornerstone for the Mexican national team for the last decade, and he played here in Philly. We had a legit soccer superstar playing in Philadelphia. And of course, we are all going to remember Marco Fabian for giving us the game-winning goal against the energy drink from North Jersey to punch our ticket to the semifinals. Marquito, tu tiempo en Filadelfia no duró mucho tiempo, pero la verdad te tengo que agradecer todo lo que has hecho para esta comunidad latina y también para este equipo que la verdad necesitaba un jugador con la calidad que tuviste tú. La verdad te deseo mucho éxito donde quiera que vayas, pero gracias por todo lo que has hecho para la Philadelphia Union. I guess, guys, if I had to put my money on it, I think Marco goes back to Mexico. Now, there's a lot of rumblings that Chivas, his club that he grew up with, he spent majority of his career with Chivas de Guadalajara, and my guess is that, you know, if Chivas really want to pay my man $2 million, he's going to go back. That's going to be a dumb move on Chivas' behalf, but hey, my man is still a legend with those Chivas fans, so best of luck to Marco. But Harris, guys, is definitely a surprise because Harris had a pretty solid season last year. He has been an absolute outstanding leader in our dressing room as well, and he's been one of Jim Kirchin's favorite players. Now, obviously, Harris is 35 years old and is a defensive liability despite being one of the better long passers in the MLS. But for the Union, just did not make sense bringing him back. To be quite frank with you guys, something tells me that the Union are trying to go younger and faster. You know, getting rid of players like Marco Fabian and Harris Medunjanin, two guys who were crucial in that midfield last year, I think they realized they need the speed. You know, we saw in Atlanta in the semifinals when we lost, the speed that Atlanta had in that midfield, and it was tough for us to keep up. Alejandro Bedoya did everything he possibly could. He is an absolute warrior, but that Atlanta midfield was too fast. Obviously, Ali's going absolutely nowhere, but it seems like they're trying to build a young, vicious midfield around our captain. I'm going to be excited to see what happens. But for Harris, I think is going to stay in the MLS. He's definitely going to have some suitors. We got teams in the MLS that could use his ability, use his better leadership. I definitely see him staying here in America. But Harris, again, another guy who was nothing but a class act from the minute he arrived in Philadelphia, and it was crucial to our historic season that we had last season. Harris, thank you for all you've done, and I wish you nothing but success in the future. Alright guys, that was the news that was. Definitely a crazy day in Philadelphia Unionville. And again, it is so great to talk about the Union again. Obviously, there's going to be more news coming up. You know, the Union are definitely going to be making some more changes to the team. I will be here to cover it all for you guys. I also have some more Union content coming out. We're doing this Where's a Parceo Philly scouting report I'll have coming out within the week. Just looking around South America, an area where the Philadelphia Union really haven't been looking, while the other MLS franchises around the country have been taking advantage of this gold mine of a region that is South America. So I'm looking extensively at different players. It's been delayed because, quite frankly, I have a expensive taste, and the players I want are over $3 million, and we're trying to find guys that are a little less than that who have good potential. But we're still looking. We will find some players, and I will have some videos out for you guys showing you what I'm seeing back home in South America. But guys, in the comments below, I want to hear from you guys. There was a lot of news going on in the last 24 hours with our blue and gold. In the comments below, you want to talk about the options of who's staying. Let's talk about it. You want to talk about the Auston Trusty trade. Let's talk about that as well. Let me know in the comments below how you feel about Auston. What will be your lasting memory of Auston Trusty? And as well, if you want to talk about Marco Fabian and Harris Medunjanin leaving as well, let me know in the comments below. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you guys tuning in to DOOP by the River. We are still trying to grow this show and this channel as well. Help me out here, guys. Help me by liking this video, subscribing to the channel, hitting the bell button for those notifications, and sharing this video as well as this channel. But guys, if you want to catch me on other social medias, definitely do that. Follow me. On Twitter, it is at Parceo Philly, and on Instagram, it is at LEL_Parcero, PARCERO_Philly. And until next time, my Luperos, DOOP on.